Hey everybody. Strange to be back to doing this again. And welcome to a game that I'd say a lot of people definitely know about, and it's gained massive viral acclaim. There's so many different in-jokes and game mechanics that have gone on to influence pop culture in numerous ways, and yet I don't think it's all that relevant anymore. It's really odd. Portal, I feel like, was once at the top of the world, and yet now it's, other than a few minor side games that have released, the entire series is just kind of in this limbo where it's kind of sort of a cult classic, but it's just really not all that relevant in pop culture. And I just find that extremely odd because there was just so much holding this game back at release. In case you don't know, because it's been almost 20 years at this point, Portal was not originally released as its own standalone game. It was originally released in a bundle by Valve called the Orange Box, alongside a million versions of Half-Life 2 and Team Fortress 2. So pretty much a conglomerate of all of the biggest games of that decade up until that point, basically. And alongside all of that was this new random game that nobody had ever heard of, and that was just so unlike any other game that Half-Life had made, and to this day it really is. And yet, somehow, even though it was just one game in a little collection, it went on to be one of Valve's most recognizable and profitable franchises. I know a lot of people, myself included, that don't really mind or don't really care for things like Half-Life or Team Fortress 2 or Counter-Strike, but they love Portal, and oh boy, I love this game. And it's why I decided to go with this one first, because I want to sort of take you through not only everything that Portal 1 has to offer, but also what it was like as the game was coming out, sort of the history of Portal 1, if you could say. And I also thought I might as well start with this game first because it is relatively short, and as a kid, I remember being disappointed by that, especially as someone who grew up playing Portal 2 first. But as I've been slowly researching for this Let's Play, I found a newer appreciation for Portal 1, honestly. I enjoy how short it is, especially now that I'm an adult and I appreciate shorter games a lot more. Before we actually get into things, I should clarify the different versions that this game has been re-released on, because it has a lot of re-releases. Like I said, it was originally released on Xbox 360 in 2007 as one of the games in the Orange Box. Then in 2008, it was released on Steam for Windows. Then it was released as a standalone on Xbox Live Arcade, called Portal Still Alive. We'll get to more of that later. Then it released on the Mac version of Steam for 2010. Then it was released on Android devices in 2014, and then, finally, they released the Companion Collection, which was a combo pack of both Portal 1 and 2, for the Switch on June 22nd, 2022. That's only 1 week away from my birthday. Would you look at that? We will be sticking with the Windows Steam release for this playthrough, mainly just because I just think it's the best version out there. It has most everything, and the things that it doesn't have, we will just get to later on. We will switch over to other versions when they have content that is necessary, but we're going to mainly stick with just the Steam release. I will also say that this version does have controller support, but I am playing with keyboard and mouse because I cannot fathom to even think of playing Portal with a controller. I am very scared for when we eventually tackle the other ports. Nevertheless, I don't see anything else than to start a new game and go to Chapter 1, Test Chamber 00. I really hope. I am very nervous because, like I said, I have not done one of these in a very long time, and I've done a lot of research for this, and let's just see how it goes. Feels nice to get a nap in. It's never explicitly stated at the beginning of the game, but we are currently in a place called Aperture Laboratories.
Hello, and again, welcome to the Aperture Science Computer-Aided Enrichment Center. We hope your brief detention in the relaxation vault has been a pleasant one. Your specimen has been processed, and we are now ready to begin the test proper. Before we start, however, keep in mind that although fun and learning are the primary goals of all Enrichment Center activities, serious injuries may occur. For your own safety and the safety of others, please refrain from Stand back. The portal will open in 3, 2, 1.
And just like that, there we are. Hey, look, it's me! That lovely lady is Shell. I don't think her name is ever verbally spoken or even written down throughout the entirety of the game, but that's her name. The lovely lady who was just talking to us was voiced by Ellen McLean, a very wonderful voice actor. She also voiced the announcer in Team Fortress 2. That lamp up there, if we take, for example, this radio, climb up onto this bed, boom! You can bump the lamp! Look at that! Why not? I'm gonna put the radio in the toilet, too. Or gently rest on the toilet. About the toilet, though, if you press E on the toilet, not on the radio, on the toilet...
Your business is appreciated.
You can flush the toilet, and it says that! I didn't know that until recently. That's hilarious. Also, that lady, voiced by Ellen McLean, the lady who was talking to us earlier said some Spanish in her little opening dialogue. I asked my Spanish-speaking friend what that translates to, and apparently she says it means, please don't fail, which is pretty funny. Anyways, in case you don't know how Portal works, yeah, you go in one, there you go, come out the other. It's honestly not that difficult, although I remember I once tried to get my mom into playing Portal 2. She did not have a very easy time, and I can understand that, because with everything else holding this game back at release, it's just very different in the sense that it's a first-person puzzle game with, like, lore and, like, a crazy story and everything, and it's just... There really was not a game out there that was like Portal until Portal came along. It's honestly crazy. Anyways, you pick up things with E, you move around with the arrow keys, you jump with space, and you can also pick up this cube, drop it on this button.
Excellent. Please proceed into the chamber lock after completing each test. First, however, note the incandescent particle field across the exit. This Aperture Science Material Emancipation Grill will vaporize any unauthorized equipment that passes through it. For instance, the Aperture Science Weighted Storage Cube.
And yes, those are the official names of those devices. I love the names that they give them in this game. That button, its official name is the Aperture Science Heavy Duty Super Colliding Super Button. I love saying the full title of that. Also, if you're a Portal head and think that I missed something, no, I didn't. I have a very specific way that I'm going to go about this playthrough, and you will see later on. Let's go ahead and... yeah, just jump down.
Please place the weighted storage cube on the 1500 megawatt Aperture Science Heavy Duty Super Colliding Super Button.
You thought I was joking. Nope. For this particular puzzle, sorry about that, I think I need to... There we go, yes. Yes, we'll do that. This puzzle, I feel, confuses a lot of people because, as you can see, we're not in direct control of the portals. It's just that blue one that keeps on changing placement on its own. The yellow one is currently stationary. Very glad that they did this. Really is good to, like, ease people in, I'd say. Currently it's over there. We need to wait until it's where that button is. There you go. That is not where the button is. There's where the cube is. Gotta bring that around town, and there you go. That does happen to you sometimes. Thankfully, it's not like the portals are, like, really responsive to, like, actual physics or anything. It's not like you're ever gonna get your body like cut in half because you were stopped midway through a portal or something like that. They're forgiving with that.
Perfect. Please move quickly to the chamber lock, as the effects of prolonged exposure to the button are not part of this test.
Indeed. There we go. And there's the exit. There we are. But yeah, I can definitely see, though, how some of the more realistic visuals could tip people off to that. In fact, fun fact, this entire game is mostly just made up of assets from Half-Life 2. There's very few original creations from this game.
You're doing very well. Please be advised that a noticeable taste of blood is not part of any test protocol, but is an unintended side effect of the Aperture Science Material Emancipation Grip, which may, in semi-rare cases, emancipate dental fillings, crowns, tooth enamel, and teeth.
Oh god, that reminds me of when I had my wisdom teeth taken out a few months back. Oh, that was like the worst pain ever, dude. Holy shit. I'm very glad that that's done. Oh boy. There we have some, I guess some people are working up there. Huh, who would have thought? Maybe the lady who's talking to us through these pre-recorded messages works up there. Who knows? Nevertheless, it might not be apparent exactly what's happening at first, but that is the portal gun. It is currently on that stand rotating around. We have to wait for it to throw out that little opening. And there we go. Now we can just walk through and pick it up.
Very good. You are now in possession of the Aperture Science handheld portal device. With it, you can create your own portals. These intradimensional gates have proven to be completely safe. The device, however, has not. Do not touch the operational end of the device. Do not look directly at the operational end of the device. Do not submerge the device in liquid, even partially. Most importantly, under no circumstances should...
And there we go. After all of that, I waited until she was done saying that before I did this.
To ensure the safe performance of all authorized activities, do not destroy vital testing apparatus.
There is special dialogue for shooting down every single one of those cameras. We saw cameras up until this point, but we could not shoot them down because we did not have the portal gun yet. And it's really, really dickish because there is, I believe, special dialogue for the first 3 that you shoot down, and then after that it's just the same one repeating. But then there is also special dialogue for if you shoot down every single camera in the game. But there's sort of an oversight with that because it only plays if you let the dialogue for every single one of them play. And by dialogue, I mean this.
For your own safety, do not destroy vital testing apparatus.
That is the one that constantly gets repeated after a certain point. And the thing is,
certain objects may be vital to your success. Do not destroy testing apparatus.
the way that the game is programmed is that the lady's dialogue will... If it's a simple dialogue like a camera being shut down, that will be overwritten by story or instruction-based dialogue. And if even a single one of those camera dialogues is overwritten, then it means that the final dialogue for shooting them all won't play. So you have to make sure that the lady is not already talking when you shoot them down, otherwise you won't hear that special dialogue. You'll get the achievement for getting them all down. I forget the name of the achievement, but you will get, you know, the achievement for shooting down all 33 cameras in the game that you can shoot down. You won't get that special dialogue, though. So I'm gonna try really hard to get that special dialogue, but no chances because it's very easy to do by accident. In fact, if you... that whole spiel, you get it right when you get the portal gun, and it goes on for, like, what, like 45 seconds? So obviously your first instinct is to shoot down the camera, and if you do that, then you're just automatically screwed right at the beginning. Nevertheless...
Please proceed to the chamber lock. Mind the gap.
I will mind you talking, though.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
I don't know if camera dialogue can be overwritten by other ones, but I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen just to be safe.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
There we go. Pretty simple. Just go ahead, move over that, and shoot down that camera as well.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
And just like that, that's 6 out of 33. Not too shabby. But uh-oh, there's no blue portal for us to enter. No worries, it doesn't matter which portal you enter, you'll still go through.
Well done. Remember, the Aperture Science Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is the perfect time to have her tested.
I really like this because this is just one of the reasons why I love Portal compared to anything else that Valve has gone through, because I really don't, I'm not a fan of, you know, like because they mainly just do like first-person shooters and gritty, violent, da-da-da-da-da. Like, that's just really not my cup of tea. And this wouldn't normally be either, except that not only is it a puzzle game, but the, like, general humor and style and way that it's presented, and, like, the actual game design, the way that they teach you, it doesn't feel like, it feels like a very, like, classy, like, Nintendo game, honestly. It makes sense because I think that this is the only Valve game that has actually been ported to a Nintendo console.
Welcome to Test Chamber 4. You're doing quite well.
Thank you very much. Test Chamber 4 has 2 buttons. I will go ahead and shoot one right now.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
Unfortunately, the camera does not weigh down the button. Where should we put this camera? Who knows? You get to go right next to the elevator. Good for you. In fact, if we want to, we can bring this... This would be a good opportunity to show off the Emancipation Girl that was mentioned earlier. Actually, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this over here. Can I make... Oh, darn it. That thing drops down automatically. If you're fast enough, you can just place a portal, it'll shoot out of that one, and hit the button just immediately. You don't even have to think about it.
Once again, excellent work.
Thank you, mysterious lady.
Test protocol. We will not monitor the next test chamber. You will be entirely on your own. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
If they're so vital, why did you put so many around them with this very dangerous gun, might I add? Whatever. Did I, in fact, shoot? Yes, there was that, and then there was that. Alright. And let's go ahead and test out that Emancipation Grill. This is what it looks like when you vaporize one of these things. There was no sound effect. There's normally a sound effect that plays. Maybe it's only with certain objects. Okay. That's odd. I'll make sure to fix that in editing. If there's any like mistakes I made, you should be seeing text on screen, or I'll just cover it in a future video. Oh, hello. Ah, yes, that's right. I had honestly forgotten. Yeah, no, she said that she would not monitor us during this next test. Also, keep in mind that, like, portals will only be active when both portals are present. So currently, we haven't walked into the room, so the orange portal hasn't activated yet. So this blue portal is just like this blue void or whatever. It happens whenever you're just not allowed to shoot the other kind of portal. I also haven't really been paying attention to these. These are hazard screens. This is Test Chamber 5 out of 19. Aperture Laboratories, also sometimes referred to as Aperture Science. They run tests on people. What are these tests for? Not quite sure, but apparently cubes will indeed fall on her head. We also can't drink. I think we need that to survive, or... Yeah, that's a little bit strange. There's also cake. Okay, huh.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
Wait. What? I didn't... Oh, because I shot that preemptively, and then it went down. Oh, it didn't even register in my mind. Let's hear it again.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
Hell yeah. And those are the only... No, that's not actually the only two. In fact, ooh, this is going to be a fun one, actually. I just realized what this is. Let's go ahead. So, this one's pretty simple, all things considered. You just need to bring those 2 cubes to the 2 buttons and open up the door. But you can do something fun with this one. Oh boy, I want to make sure I get this right. First off, we just need to complete the puzzle like normal, which is pretty simple. Just drop in with that. Thankfully, the laws of physics don't really apply. If you're upside down when flying through a portal, you'll just pop out in the orientation that you need to be in. Good thing for them. And then Hop in through there. And go ahead and grab that. Look at that. That brings us to the entryway. However, we can do some stuff we're not supposed to. There's actually a handful of test chambers where you can soft lock yourself out of completing them, and you get a special little message for doing so. For this one in particular, let's see here. I also I got the name of, in my notes it says that this is test chamber 4, but it's clearly test chamber 5. As you can see, there's a portable surface. You can only put portals on things that are white, for context. The game never actually outright teaches you that, but you can. So, we're going to put a portal right over there, through the door without walking towards it. Then, we can place the cubes over here in a way that sort of makes stairs. There you go. Then just carefully... Ooh. Not quite. Almost, though. Almost. Okay, I've been at this for a while. I don't know why this isn't working, honestly. I think this might be something that they patched out without me ever finding out about. But yeah, no, you're supposed to stack up those cubes in such a way where you can get up onto that platform, grab the topmost cube, and then shove it into that portal. So then that way, it's behind the exit. And because of that, there's no way for you to complete the test. So GLaDOS will say this line.
You're not a good person. You know that, right?
And then, yeah, she just opens up the door for you. And that line is actually reused somewhere else in the game, actually. It's from a much later point in the game. They just reused it.
As part of a required test protocol, our previous statement suggesting that we would not monitor this chamber was an outright fabrication. Good job. As part of a required test protocol, we will stop enhancing the truth in 3, 2,
just like that. I don't know, I just thought that was a really neat detail. I'm not sure why I wasn't able to do it, though.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
And, oh, that's interesting! I don't know if you guys saw that, but yeah, I just got an achievement, Camera Shy. It says to just detach cameras from the walls. But obviously it's not for every single one of them, so maybe that's another detail that they changed, huh? Again, I'll have to look more into that. Hey, I don't claim to know everything with this. Gonna be a lot that I learned from this series, just as much as you guys do, I'm sure of it. Here we are in test chamber numero 6.
While safety is one of many Enrichment Center goals, the Aperture Science high-energy pellet seen to the left of the chamber can and has caused permanent disabilities, such as vaporization.
Oh, I'd like to be the judge of that. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can in fact die in this game. There's a lot of different ways you can, actually. Anyways, yeah, 6 and 19. What did the hazard screen say? Oh, yes, the dialogue repeats, we know.
Aperture Science high-energy pellet seen to the left of the chamber can and has caused permanent disabilities, such as
I would normally just talk over this, but it's difficult to talk when someone else is talking. There we go. But yeah, this little device, which I can never remember the name of, honestly, just constantly bounces these pellets over and over again. Pretty simple, just go ahead and do that.
Unbelievable. You
Subject name here.
must be the pride of.
Subject hometown here.
Hell yeah. Moving on to test chamber number 7, I've been cutting out the loading screens.
Warning devices are required on all mobile equipment. However, alarms and flashing hazard lights have been found to agitate the high-energy pellet and have therefore been disabled for your safety.
Glad to hear it. Again, really not that bad. Just make sure that, well, I said that, consider that.
Good. Now use the Aperture Science unstationary scaffold to reach the chamber lock.
Thank you very much. While we're waiting for this platform to go across, I should talk a little bit more about the development, because it's honestly pretty cool, actually. Hold on a minute. There we go. Basically, this was not a normal game developed by Valve originally. This started off all the way back in 2005 as a project from students of the DigiPen Institute of Technology. It was originally a game called Narbacular Drop. It looked a lot different. It had a couple different mechanics. It was mechanically different as well. In Narbacular Drop, you could actually shoot a portal through another portal in order to reach newer locations, which you can't do that in Portal. If you try and do that, it just awkwardly, like, bounces off of where it would have gone. But yeah, no, Valve thought it was interesting and decided to pick up the licensing to it. They pretty much hired every single employee from the Institute who worked on it, and it became the game you know as today.
Please note that we have added a consequence for failure. Any contact with the chamber floor will result in an unsatisfactory mark on your official testing record, followed by death. Good luck.
This is another one that seems to confuse people a lot, but as you can see, I'm about to do it right here in one try. Bada boom. I thought there was going to be dialogue there, whoops. But yeah, no, you just have to make sure to launch it over there, and then when it goes over here and is bouncing off, during that time you just need to change the location of the portal. It's the first time the game ever asked you to do that, and again, they don't outright spell it out for you, so I can definitely see why some people were confused. I will say, go over there, and there we go. Now we can go onto this lovely little platform. Also, that stuff will kill you, so don't fall into it. Please. Even if it does just look like a singular texture, it looks like it's like a solid surface and you could probably stand on it. No, you can't do that. Please don't do that.
Very impressive. Please note that any appearance of danger is merely a device to enhance your testing experience.
Ah, well that's good. Thank you very much. These pre-recorded messages are very nice, honestly. And here we are at... is
The
this...
Enrichment Center regrets to inform you that this next test is impossible. Make no attempt to solve it.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, damn it, if it's impossible... Okay. I guess that's so much for going back to Let's Plays. Alright, that's the end of the series, you guys. No, I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
The Enrichment Center apologizes for this clearly broken test chamber.
I did not know there was extra dialogue for waiting. I'm glad I did that impromptu gag bit. Also, hi, Office Chamber, hello. This is test chamber number 9, as a matter of fact. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead... How do I do this again? Because for context, I forgot to mention this.
The Enrichment Center offers its most sincere apologies on the occasion of this unsolvable test environment.
Yeah. But I've made sure not to practice any of the puzzles in this game because it's always difficult, or it's always weird playing Portal as a Let's Play because it's, you know, when you're doing it in like an informative sense.
This chamber was a mistake. If we were you, we would quit now.
Because it's a puzzle game where the puzzles are already solved, right? So trying to do it in that sense might seem a little bit contradictory at first, but I've just made sure not to memorize any of the puzzles or anything like that. So that way...
No one will blame you for giving up. In fact, quitting at this point is a perfectly reasonable response.
But yeah, it's why I decided to not memorize any of the puzzles or anything like that. So that way you guys can still get my genuine reactions to trying to at least remember how to solve them, and it's not just constantly me knowing how to do every single one perfectly or anything like that.
Now, and cake will be served immediately.
Well, the cake does sound really good, but I think I've actually figured out a solution. Strangely seductive voice. It's actually not that difficult. You just need to shoot through this little hole. And there you go. That way this doesn't get hit by the particle grid or whatever.
Fantastic. You remain resolute and resourceful in an atmosphere of extreme pessimism.
You bet I did. Also, it makes me wonder if there's any sort of... No, it's making me wonder because this is another instance of a portable wall after the exit, but no, I don't think there's any way to break this room. I could be wrong, though. Let's just go ahead and move on to chest chamber number 10. You know, considering there's 19 of these things, we are actually moving through the game at a pretty nice pace, I'd say. Here we are in chest chamber number 10, going in the double digits this time.
Hello again. To reiterate, previous one. Where's momentum?
Phew. You know, whoever's on the, like, editing team for making sure those pre-recorded messages are going through well, they didn't do a very good job.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
Yeah, they really didn't. This is a very important puzzle, in my opinion, because, again, a very clever way that they teach you about things without actually teaching you. Because it's that seems impossible, because... Oh, well... Don't worry, we're getting to the impossible part. Basically, we walked out of that in order to land on these stairs. But during the second part, go up here, that doesn't seem like you can reach that just by doing that. However, gravity and momentum carries even when you go through portals. So you can just do that.
Spectacular. You appear to understand how a portal affects forward momentum, or to be more precise, how it does not.
You see how this panel moves on its own right there? You can only catch that if you turn the camera quickly. And unfortunately, I did not actually... can I go back and actually... I don't think I can, actually. But if I were to shoot a portal on that moving surface, it wouldn't actually let me, and that's because, in a strange quirk of this game's engine, you cannot actually create portals on moving surfaces. I know, it sounds like something that you would naturally be able to do, but you actually can't.
Momentum, a function of mass and velocity, is conserved between portals. In layman's terms, speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes out.
See how I was trying to shoot on it? It wouldn't let me until it fully stopped. Yeah, you can't do that, probably because it would actually break the game if portals would be able to move around. If you try and create a custom map when modding the game and try and put a portal on a moving surface, the game just kind of glitches out and doesn't really know what to do. And I believe there's only one instance in the entire series where they break that rule, and it's in the sequel. Other than that, though, yeah, you can't put them on moving surfaces. It's a very big thing that they just decided not to attempt, which, I mean, I'm glad of them for that, honestly. Chest chamber number 11.
The Enrichment Center promises to always provide a safe testing environment. In dangerous testing environments, the Enrichment Center promises to always provide useful advice. For instance, the floor here will kill you. Try to avoid it.
That would have been very helpful advice a couple test chambers ago, honey, but okay, whatever.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
And doing that makes me wonder if did I get the... oh boy, I don't... Did I? It's because there's no in-game counter for the cameras, so you have to keep track of them on your own. And I think I got that. The camera in the previous test chamber? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I did, though. I know I got that one, and I think that one is the only one. Yes, it's the only one in this test chamber. Okay, cool. Nice. Nice? Why did I was trying to say neat. Where did the east come from there? You can see, though, that over there is another portal gun, except it's shooting at orange portals, and it's also rotating like the last one. So we just gotta make sure that when we make a blue portal, we don't accidentally step out into nothingness. Although, I am a little bit curious. I don't actually remember, because every single one of these is just stepping out into nothingness, so I am a little bit perplexed. Maybe when it's turned around in that direction. Ah, there we go. I also love how we have the Aperture Science Heavy Duty Super Colliding Super Button, and then this, which is just called Button. That's the actual canonical name of it, just Button. I love that. There we go. According to the developer's commentary, actually, they originally had a weighted button here that you just had to step on yourself, because you can also activate those kinds of buttons. However, they changed it to a regular button because through playtesting, they had just associated... The playtesters had just associated cubes with buttons, and they didn't really piece together that you were supposed to stand on that one, so they just changed it to a regular clickable button. A smart move, I'd honestly say. Anyways, another ball launcher over here. That's what I just call them, honestly, because I never can memorize their official name. Oh boy! Oh, that was a close one. That has to eventually... not quite, but eventually it should make it. Just by waiting. Oh boy. Uh-oh. feel like eventually it has to just make it by just circumstance, right? Like, what is it? What is it now? Really? Still not? Well, fuck. Okay, there we go. There we go. We just had to wait for a little while. There we are. Now that platform is moving. Perfect. Huh. What do I do here again? Because the door's closed? Ah, that's right. Hold, no, I know what to do here. What am I saying? There we go. Now we can put... That one's gonna go there. Go over here. Land on the platform. Perfect! Be careful not to get hit by the orange laser of that. And... give it a minute here.
The device has been modified so that it can now manufacture 2 linked portals at once. As part of an optional test protocol, we are pleased to present an amusing fact. The device is now more valuable than the organs and combined incomes of everyone in.
Subject hometown here.
But yeah, now we can go ahead. We now have the dual portal device. Now we can shoot both the... Oh, God!
The device has been
Okay, it
modified
saves
so
there.
that it
Thank
can
you,
now
game.
manufacture 2 linked portals at once. As part of an optional
As I was
test
saying, yeah,
protocol,
we now have the ability to
present
shoot 2
an
portals at
amusing
once with the
fact.
dual portal
The
device.
device is now
And
more
since we were
valuable
carrying
than
one
the
earlier, I
organs
like to
and
imagine that
combined
Shell
incomes
just sort of
everyone in.
looks at the singular portal device for a second and then just tosses it into the abyss, gets the new one. Because they are 2 separate devices, right? Although it would be pretty cool if we just held both of them and they were like dual wielding guns and shit. That would be neat. Oh god, I forgot to press the button. Fuck. There we go. But yeah, if you're playing this on keyboard and mouse, it's left click to shoot the blue portal, right click to shoot the orange one. And this is where the game gets really complex now that you have control of both. Even though you're only like halfway through it. Again, a very short game. But again, that's why I chose this one to come back to, actually. Just to, you know, get my feet wet, again, with a game that I really like, but another thing that wouldn't take me too much time to get done. I say that as the research of this took a couple of weeks, but there were obviously days where, like, I wasn't researching, but whatever. Anyways. Test chamber... What, 12? Here we come. Yep, chest chamber number 12, I was right.
Get ready to fling yourself. Fling into space.
Which apparently the subtitles register as fling garble bzzt. But yeah, it's another instance of flinging yourself. That's the... It's never mentioned in, like, I guess other than that one line anyway, but by the developers as well as people, like, fans of the game, that technique is just called flinging yourself. I don't think it's ever, like, an exact technique that, like, Aperture Science, like, names or anything like that, like with the devices like this, but yeah, just called flinging yourself. There's a cube up there. I know I can get that. Although, there we go. If we tried shooting at that, again, it wouldn't quite work. But we can just keep on using the momentum we got from jumping. Jump right over there, get that cube. Look at that. And just to make sure we don't fly off into nothingness, we can just... There we go, do that. Oh no, that was too much. No! Too much speed. Where did the cube go? Oh, I'm standing on it. Hey, buddy. There we go. And then we can go right back on through. Oh. Attempt number 2. We can do this. That's probably my favorite of the pre-recorded lines. I love that. And I think, actually, I might end things off here. I've been recording for almost an hour, and obviously I'm going to split this up into multiple episodes, but for this particular recording session, I think I'll be done. I just kind of wanted to see how this felt, in my opinion. But, yeah, no. I think I'll end it off there. I had a good time with this. I'm really excited for the rest of this series, honestly, and to show it to all of you. So, next time on Portal, we will be tackling Chest Chamber 13 with our brand new dual portal gun. I will see you all then. I need to think of how to end these videos. But yeah, seriously, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode of Portal.